Fiverr. So the last episode, which was in the beginning of 2022, the prices were pretty high, and as a result I got fewer orders. So I thought, for the sake of a funnier video, I'll just lower the prices a little bit. Maybe we'll get some funnier orders, some LOL material. My goal is to raise at least 500 euro. That way I can pay off the remainder of the down payment on my next rental apartment. Because I'm moving at the end of the month. So let's check out Fiverr. We have 7 orders lined up already. Nice. Goal is almost met, but Fiverr takes off 20%. They just steal it from me. We got 2 furries by the profile pictures. We got 1 K-pop. I still have no answer to that, why I'm so attractive to furries. It's like, people have told me that it's just because I'm good at art. And it's like, that doesn't explain it at all, because there's so many good artists that I follow that are way better than me that don't get furries as their only clients. I'll open this one.
I would like to see Daruch from the Kirby Sources playing basketball and dunking.
That's cool. However, I'm not gonna download this file. I'm just gonna look it up instead. Okay, so you know what, I will do a big brain move right now, because like this is exactly the type of shit people would type into AI generators. So let's do that, see what that comes up with, and then we can avoid doing the same. Daruch dunking a basketball. Oh wait, I wonder what that's gonna do. This is the type of shit normal people would commission artists for if there wasn't AI to take that shit away. But it doesn't take furries away. It turned the character into an actual duck. Damn, we got some signatures of artists going on here. Daruch dunking a basketball. Where's Daruch? Yeah, it's not working. AI is too stupid. Incredibly efficient. I'm just looking for like pose reference here. Let's do frame by frame. Reverse dunking. A human helicopter!
And look at this.
No top view. Maybe I should do a top view. Yeah, if the guy's limbs are floating, it's like, takes most of the anatomy grunt work out of it. Sponsored by Squarespace. But who should a defender be? Kirby, maybe? Who even is the character? Like, is the character in the Kirby series debuting as the main antagonist? I haven't drawn characters with floating limbs since middle school, because back then I used to draw Madness combat characters. They had no faces, they had no arms, and they had no legs. The characters are kind of easy to draw. Their limbs are made of simple shapes. The hands, at least, the feet are a little bit more complex, but yeah, it's pretty primitive stuff. I was too lazy to actually draw the hoop myself, so I brought in a simple 3D model to do that work for me. It helped me set up the perspective of the scene more convincingly as well. Not set it up, but just it made it to read more easily, you know? But to be honest, the floating limbs made it more difficult in some aspects. Like, I wanted his non-ball hand to be pushing Kirby away like this, but since he has no elbows, how do you convey that? But yeah, the shading here is super simplistic, nothing fancy. Just a top light and a rim light from the back. The timer was running low. I had no time to draw a background, so I just threw in like some abstract shapes to convey the path of movement, kinda, and like some random ass sparkles, because I felt that would be fitting for like Kirby characters. Implies like flashing lights from the audience or whatever. Now, as the finisher, I thought I'd do an old trick here that I used to do back in the day, where I blur the entire image, put the blurry image on top of everything, and change its blending mode to hard light. So this just kind of adds like this haziness effect. It blends all the elements together with each other. Somehow, I don't know, it makes a piece look finished when it's not actually finished. Yeah, he really be balling. It is what it is. It's a 1-hour drawing. Does the job, I think. Yo. What was his name? Daruch. Why is his name Daruch? Daruch is about to slam that ball and Kirby isn't stopping him. Deliver work. Let's check out the next one. I'm kind of scared of all of these, to be honest. I'm gonna check out the one with the K-pop profile pic. Okay, I'm seeing some anime characters.
Hi, I was so excited to see you're doing these again and so happy I could get a spot. Sorry for the upcoming anime boy character request, but it's my birthday on the 8th, so I figured I'd commission a little gift for myself. Can you draw the character Mahashi Ren from the show Big Wind up as if he's holding out a gift to me? I've included a reference photo for a torso-up pose, clothing reference, and facial expression references. He's a very nervous guy, so I thought that type of expression would be most appropriate. I'd say notable features of his are that bird-like mouth, wide eyes, those eyebrows of his, and blushy cheeks.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's for their birthday, so I'll make sure they enjoy that birthday present. Anime Mango, how to draw anime manga in MS Paint, how to draw Naruto in MS Paint. That's my childhood, and yeah, we're about to do something that will show that it is my childhood, because manga, anime, I know how to draw that shit. But yeah, good thing here is that the client knew exactly what they were looking for. They gave me like a pose reference, they gave me like an expression reference. I didn't have to use my brain a whole lot. I could just go with the flow, space out to listen to some jams and autopilot through this thing. Mostly I was autopiloting, but one thing where I kind of did struggle is, you guessed it, the hands, because they're like foreshortened and they're interacting with the thing. Like I did this from imagination at first. It looks kind of okay-ish, but I ended up taking a pose reference of myself to ease my mind a little, make it a little less heavy on the timer. Now, when it came to the shading, I made the shadow color red for literally no reason at all. My brain was completely empty when I made that decision. But somehow it ended up playing into the anime look. It just kind of works for some reason. I don't know, don't ask me. So for the background, I used that typical anime foliage brush to make like bushes or something, and to make it seem like, hey, he's behind the bushes, he's in a private space. It's like, psst, bitch, come here, I will give you the gift now for your birthday. And it's like, that's the vibe this picture is meant to give off, so that background enhances it. Anime mango has been achieved. It's alright for 1 hour. There are areas about it that I'd like to improve, but I think they will be satisfied. Oh man, it's like 5 a.m. Happy early birthday. Here is, what was his name? I need to reverse image search this. Big wind up wiki. What's his name? Oh wait, you can save draft now. The reason I didn't want to close this box was so I'd lose progress in writing my one sentence. God, yeah, the 5 a.m. brain is really showing. You know what? I don't even want to write his name. Here is the anime mango handing over your present. What is inside is a mystery. Hope you enjoy. Deliver! Woke up to the anime manga boy having left me a $10 tip. Thank you. Thank you. That was successful. Let's check out the next one.
A slightly odd request, but there's nothing in particular I want other than to support you and your channel. So please, can you draw something as a gift for your friend or family member of your choosing? Bonus points if you can get their reaction to receiving it. Always important to show your appreciation to the people in your life who love and support you. So please draw something nice, or a hilarious in joke none of the viewers will understand, for your friend, GF, parent, sibling, mentor divided by etc.
So yeah, I'm gonna do a drawing for my buddy Scoot. He does tattoos, and we have a whole ass folder full of collaborative drawings we've done. It's a whole bunch of weird shit, so I'm gonna pick something from here and make a tattoo design. Maybe this guy right here. Yeah, maybe this, or maybe these. Yeah, as you can see, there's a very specific thematic choice for these canvases. It's very odd. Oh man, I actually like this goblin. Oh hey, there's my OC. Okay, you know what, I'll just start.
It's funny, the request is like, draw something for my friend, and we're just gonna be drawing together.
I mean, actually, the guy wrote to me before actually sending this request. Basically, they wanted me to do something random, like, of my own choosing, so I think it doesn't really matter.
It's funny, this is like the only shit I draw, just the heads. Like, I just keep drawing them every time I hold a piece of paper and I have a pencil. It's actually like a disease.
Man, it did the reverse thing, like, usually this is where the nose
yeah.
is.
Me when I'm one day without the Zaza.
Okay, this has been a nice warm-up. It is time for Gongo to, I'm gonna show the world how a square can be a face.
And draw another guy with a short bicep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mara Judah's in my head now because you said the yeah thing.
Yeah! This guy looks like a bottle. Like, let me turn this upside down.
Nice to draw somebody drinking from him.
Maybe it should be him. Damn, this guy's built like a liver king.
Oh my god, did you find out about the fact that he was on steroids as well? I was so surprised, man.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been obvious to me if I didn't know anything about that world, the bodybuilding world.
I mean, a lot of people like, don't know anything about like Hollywood and like a lot of big actors. I think The Rock uses it as well. Like, realistically speaking, that guy is like massive.
The Rock motivational video. Get up every day at 5 a.m. Hit the gym for 2 hours. 6 a.m. breakfast. Emails. 7 a.m. I want to just analyze the horse face. Do some deep diving science.
Use some AI.
Guy with a horse face. Man, AI is fucking stupid. I can see the similarities to a human face. Because when I draw these weird ass faces, you still have to somehow morph the noses.
This looks like that one body cam, like not the body cam, the horse face on the doorknob.
Oh yeah, the ring doorbell. Man, this canvas is shaping up feet and horse faces. Guy with horse faces and Austrian horses.
How much did he pay you anyways for this ass?
It's the basic package. It's $48.
Man, that's a lot of money.
It's like one grocery shopping.
Start Alt F4.
What are your final thoughts on this?
I don't know, I was like disconnected the entire time while doing this. I probably should have burned my eyes out instead.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
Me saying that sentence is like an IQ test, which I just terribly failed at.
They wanted inside jokes with my friend, so deliver. Oh god, I'm actually sending this over. I'm gonna check out Star 6 Studios. It has a furry picture, so that's alarming, but we'll see.
Howdy Chowa, here's my Octo Gallo Sierra. She's a super cool captain and I'd like to see her in her captain's outfit giving orders, or if you prefer. I have also attached her Eldritch Horror Mouth version if you wanted to go the more horror route and draw her being all spooky and angry or something. I hope she's a fun time to draw. Thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, that's interesting. That's something I haven't seen before. An octopus furry. This is cool though, I like this. So for no particular reason, I felt like it would be a good idea to go with a low angle and a pointing pose. So the low angle implies having power over the viewer or like the peasants that she's commanding, and yeah, I was gonna make her uniform white at first, but halfway through the process I reconsidered for no particular reason other than gut feeling. So sometimes you just gotta go with your gut, and yeah, there are no rational explanations. Anyways, for the lighting of the scene, I went with direct sunlight coming kind of from a diagonal angle. Yeah, also for no particular reason, I thought, yeah, maybe midday seems like an appropriate time to be giving orders for the captain. Yeah, the lighting just gives pieces a little bit of context and story and sets the mood. Like, midday isn't too dark or anything, you know? Whatever, who cares? Yeah, the timer hit 0, but I did not want to leave the background empty. One of those references that I had... Jesus, I'm knocking my headphones off. One of those references I had collected earlier had like this, you know, those strings, those nets that come down from the tall ass post on ships. I don't know what I'm talking about at all. Like, I don't know the terms. I added those in behind the character to create like an X shape in the composition. Contrasts with the gesture. Looks kind of cool. Finally added in some clouds to de-boringify the composition even further, and those are also following like tight angles, which just create more movement for your eyes around the image, and it makes it feel nicer to look at. That's cool, man. I'm really doing this filter thing and everything. This just makes it look better. It makes it look like a scene from some animated show. Yeah. What's good with the capital G? The Octo Gal is commanding the peasants. What are the peasants on the ship? Like the lower class workers. Seafarers, professions and ranks. Deck department, deck officers, chief mate. I'm a chief mate. Ordinary seaman, the lowest ranking personnel, standing lookout and generally cleaning duties. Okay, so ordinary seaman to mop the deck floor. Deliver work. Okay, so 3 remaining. I remember this. So this is what I drew for this person in the last Fiverr video, but I've been detailing it up in my free time, turning it into a new drawing. But anyways.
You will see how la 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 XDOWO is me again. Loved my last drawing, BTW, I stare at it daily. Anyways, today's theme is money, dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. I man, payday, can be stealing it from a bank. It can be raining from the skies of hell. Oh, maybe even him rising from a summiting circle with stacks of cash all around, filling the room. I decay as long as the theme is money. And my dumb demon dog is looking epic. I will be a happy lad.
Okay, so it's the same character, 30 plus. So I'm looking at some werewolf pictures for no reason. So I think an appropriate type of pose would be something where he's like, Like this type of shit. And I don't know how to go about the money. I don't want to draw dollar bills individually. Blender raining money. People have searched for this. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh god, the gamer intro. So yeah, shout out to UC42 for this tutorial. Actually, I got another idea. So I thought, hey, he needs to be in hell, right? So what's the best reference for a hell? And I thought Minecraft. That's what I'm talking about. What if I like saved an image? I go here and I generate variations. Let's see what will happen. Will it still be blocky or will it actually be looking like a landscape? Okay, here we go. And like this is what Minecraft would look like if you were on drugs. Okay, so that idea doesn't work. Okay, so I felt like taking the opportunity on this one, try messing around with the exaggeration of the body proportions, like a very wide upper back and a very narrow lower torso. Now, when it comes to the money, it looks a little bit like Monopoly money, but I couldn't be bothered to research what actually goes into currency design or whatever, what the real currencies are made of. I was unsure whether I would have enough time to fit in a background design here, so I went with some simple cliffs and spiky rocks to reinforce the character gesture. It was time to render out the falling money. I had to make sure the money emitter was large enough so it wouldn't look like it's raining on just one tiny spot, you know what I mean? I could have actually exaggerated this more than I ended up doing, but it's not super important for the final result. I think for the lighting, I went with the side light, which implies like an end of the day sort of scenario. It plays into the red sky, it goes well together with that, although he is in literal hell, so that's a little weird maybe, but I don't care. So once the timer hit 0, I still had nothing going on in the background, so I ran the overtime clock and speed ran painting those darned rocks. I had to be as fast as possible, so I used loose strokes coupled with some pointy rocks that I added in as well. And of course, cannot forget about the fog. You gotta throw in a lot of fog when you don't have time. Finally, a random brightener gradient type thing behind the character. This is more just like a graphic style element. It doesn't actually convey anything in the environment. And of course, we gotta throw in that finishing filter, that magic filter. Cannot forget about that. Yeah, this is me after Fiverr. Lol, the XD has been achieved. I like the stylization going on here. Like this is nice. I like that. Hey, what is up? It's raining cold hard cash in hell today and the money dog is euphoric. Reminder, never accept or ask for direct payments. Doing so may get your account restricted. Damn, it's detecting the word cash in my description and thinking I'm doing something illegal. Zion, deliver. What's up? You're getting the worst quality video of all time of me right now, like 2 FPS.
I would like you to draw for me a mermaid, but with a fish top half and a human bottom half. Could you draw them sort of laying on the sand on a beach on their belly, kinda awkwardly flopping around like a fish out of water? I'll allow you to be creative with it.
It's 3 a.m. If we're gonna do this, we should make it not boring, so... Oh god, maybe I should make this type of fish. Man, this looks like the donkey stare. Oh, man, what the fuck? Just looks like this type of fish. A flounder on crack after heroin. Maybe the deep sea thing is too much. Cool. Maybe it would be cool to do like one of these colorful fishes. Yeah, what the fuck? What is this? This reminds me a little bit of the previous Fiverr drawing episode where somebody commissioned me to draw a prehistoric fish, like a Tiktaalik or whatever, like that's the ancestor of all human beings. So this is kind of like a different take on that, like it's crawling out of the water, migrating to land. This is the real ancestor of all human beings. This is what Darwin doesn't want you to know about. Lol moment. I struggled a bit with the leg poses here. I did the legs without the reference, so I was a little bit indecisive on the poses. I wasn't sure if they're gonna be touching, like is one leg touching the other. Such mental unclarity will show through in your final image, so that's why it's important to plan things beforehand. But an upside of this piece was that there isn't a lot of detail on the character picture, like no faces, no clothing or anything. So that left me with a lot more time to do the background, which allows me to give more context to the image. Like, as I said, the beach, the water, all that. Had more time to do that. Added some detail on the sand and the water. Added some waves and reflections of the sunlight or whatever, the sunset. Sun is setting. It may be a sunrise actually, who knows. Yeah, I added in like a gradient on the other side, which gives the piece a little more story. Like, it looks like he's crawling out of the water going towards a light that's off camera somewhere. So yeah, that leaves a little bit of questions in the air, a little bit of mystery, and that's what you want for your piece if you want it to be intriguing. Very nice. Thought about having his leg go like this. Maybe that would have been a better look. Why do I even care? Like, this is the weirdest shit of all time. Before I deliver this, maybe I should try to enhance the face. I want to bring it out a bit more. You know what? I don't like this leg. It's bothering me so much. I don't even know. This image is so weird, and it's like, it's obviously meant as like a gag or whatever. And here I am being perfectionistic about it. What am I doing with my life? Okay, I spent 9 minutes on this leg. You get to do this now. Hey! The fishy is successfully reaching the shoreline and migrating on land. Yeah, I'm just sending the new leg version. If you're watching this and you want the old leg version, just tell me. Okay, let's check out the last 2 hour one.
I want you to recreate this photo, but instead of it being the Joker in the photo, I want it to be Waluigi.
Okay, so I want like an evil Waluigi taking a photo with an old camera. Okay, so on this one we've got an entire 2 hours for what's basically a portrait shot, so that makes the process a lot more stress-free than the other ones have been so far, because I don't have to use my brain. Well, I do, but a lot less. So this started out looking kind of something like a Japanese demon mask, like an Oni mask, Tengu or whatever. No, the Tengus have long noses, this one doesn't. Waluigi just has that face shape, pointy chin, that creepy ass smile. My brain.exe stopped working when I started erasing out pieces of the line art for things to be in front of one another. So it made his hand be behind the camera for some reason, and it stayed that way for an entire minute, and it wasn't even 3 a.m. Tilting the head sideways made a huge difference actually, because symmetry is the killer of gestures. Now, when it came to the shading, it has like that comic book full-on black shading style, which is fun to do, but you need to be very sure of what you're doing. Luckily, I had a reference photo to copy this from, so it was stress-free again. When it came to the halftones between the shadow and the light area, yeah, those areas had hatching on them, which I initially started out with a special brush, but that looked kind of ass, so I just did some manual hatching instead for a more authentic look. But yeah, this is really cool. I didn't even have to do any overtime, just painted in some highlights and autopiloted my way through the rest of the process. Of course, the magic filter. So yeah, today you get even worse quality. Yeah, this is a thing that I just created. I have no thoughts about it. Yo, Waluigi is practicing his photography skills on the cameraman. Deliver work. Okay, so it's time to check out the last one. The one guy that got the supporter package.
I would love it if you could draw my D&D character in your style. Her name is Buck and she is a moose centaur paladin. I think I would like to have her in a ready-to-battle pose, but if you come up with something better, I'm here for it. Also, my original ref sheet has her holding swords, but I would actually like to have her holding a pike.
I don't know jack about animal anatomy, so I had to rely entirely on a reference picture on this one. You can really tell by how I keep failing at getting the proportions right. Something's always too long or too short, like the torso versus the legs versus the joints of the legs. So here you can see a rare moment of me raging at my tablet because the battery was getting empty and it was acting up. After the horse body was done, I wanted the human part of it to continue the gesture, like this little continuous line. So I was gonna do it from imagination at first, but then realized I don't have time for that. So I started looking through my reference packs. You can use code ChalaFollowers15 to get 15% off all Graphic Studio reference packs. So I looked through the packs and I found one that perfectly matched the angle and the gesture I had going. So it was nice. It was a real-time time saver. By the time I got to drawing her horns, I had completely forgotten that the buyer wanted it to be like moose. It's supposed to have moose horns, and I referenced some different types of horns, so that was inaccurate. Had to change that up later, but something I really enjoy about this piece though is how the hair shapes turned out. They got like these flowy, squiggly shapes, and it looks really cool and game art-y, which is what I'm going for anyways, so that was successful. The silhouette was reading pretty efficiently as well, which means that the pose is working. Now, I had not done a lot of planning on this piece before I started, so the background was gonna be a little bit of a struggle, plus the lighting. So when deciding on the environment colors, I just went through the color wheel to find the color that hits, and I based the shading color off of that. I threw in a random 3D figure for a lighting reference. Now, the first lighting pass I was gonna do was gonna be a reflected light from the ground. I don't know why, because before doing that, I should have painted in the actual sunlight, because I was gonna do sunlight. Small brain move on my part, started painting reflected light without the main light. Anyways, after that, I painted in like a skylight sort of thing, blue ambient light from the top to fill in the shadows from the sunlight, and I still hadn't painted in the sunlight, so what's up with that? What was I thinking? I don't know. It wasn't even 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. So when all these passes were finally in, I started messing around more with the colors. Somehow I ended up with like a color scheme that looked like moonlight with like a fireplace on the side. So that was weird. I did not want to lock that in, so I took a break to come back to it later with a fresh eye. When I came back, I still didn't want to make a decision, and I avoided that by painting in an additional layer of shading, which is the ambient shading pass. At this point, I started painting in some random green stuff in the background to imply her being in a forest. It wasn't really working. Again, no planning on my part, just random ideas, throwing them on canvas, seeing if it sticks. It didn't stick. I went for a little bit more reference hunting, found some cool Runeterra illustrations, which I used for the background reference here. After finding that, I finally ended up changing that blue skylight pass into an actual sunlight pass. It just changed the color into yellow, and it kind of worked, so I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. It's like so random. But yeah, the timer was getting real tight, and I hadn't even done anything proper with the background. Plus, I still had to add in like a character or something else that she'd actually be pointing her weapon at, you know what I mean? The stress was intensifying. But yeah, when in doubt, just throw in a bunch of fog, everything will be fixed. That's another thing I used earlier on the money dog thing. It's sufficient in hiding how little I actually drew in the background, and it created more contrast, with the silhouette helping bring it out more. Another cheap trick to make something look more finished is throwing in like some dark elements in the foreground, like some leaves and such. That, coupled with more detail in the middle ground, creates a pretty efficient illusion of a finished looking piece. All these cheap tricks left me with enough time to actually paint in another character. I was gonna do something simple, so I went with a little goblin, like a tiny little bitch ass in the foreground, to just be the culprit of the scene here. I used up the remainder of the time to do some refinement on the lighting, create some drop shadow parts on the character to make it look more believable as a sunlight pass, because sunlight is quite harsh. Yeah, we can twist it a little bit in fantasy illustrations, but anyway, it's color dodge time. Yeah, color dodge. I didn't do as much rendering on this one as I was hoping to initially, because I had to add in a background and this little fella. The colors are popping. It's got that typical fantasy MMO artwork color scheme going on. Hey, what is up? The Moose in Tower has got this goblin or in the bushes. He is now suffering the consequences. Well, that's how you spell it, okay? Deliver word! So yeah, this is an enjoyable experience. I made enough money to pay for the last portion of the down payment on my new apartment. So starting next month, I won't be in this room anymore, thanks to the people that bought the shit from me currently. Still figuring out the job situation, but yeah, I have to do commissions and wear Fiverr shit in the meantime. Thanks everybody that left a tip and bought a thing. So, oh yeah.
Buy my shirts right now, or else.
Check out my SoundCloud.
Hey kid, wanna buy some reference packs? I got you covered, fam.